Hello and welcome to 304 BB Hits. This is Slim Red and Josh in the studio. Anything ever. I'm sure you know.
Well, isn't this running on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
So then that would make us not be running. Or is
Yeah.
it? I don't
No, it
understand
pinged
this.
out right when
Oh,
we
it's
hit
running
send.
off of that for this.
It's running off of the Wi-Fi. Yes.
So
When the
then
air
they
mode hit
probably
on, we
that was
lost
probably a big
connection.
there was a big blank spot there.
So, hello and welcome to 304 BB Hits. You're in the studio live with Slim Red and Josh, and we have just come from the March for Human Rights in Fairmont, West Virginia.
Wow. All I can
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, there was such a great turnout. Like
Mm-hmm.
we.
How many people do you think? Or maybe
Well,
really
all
the
right.
crowd size, but
Let's
I
just
was
put it
trying
this
to.
way. All right, we had a crowd of roughly 70 people show up at
The public hearing.
the hearing.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, man, I don't know if we tripled it, but it sure seemed like there was way lots more
Mm-hmm.
people than there was at that
You could
one.
hear us all over
So,
town, too.
so it's working. People are really starting to get up and get out
Mm-hmm.
and do something. Thing is really starting to take effect here. So,
Yeah. And there was an opposition. They expressed their
can you
right,
believe
though.
this is what happened? All right, I'll name names, okay, because this is their name. Bledsoe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I approached them with factual information and Yup card because those things are pretty cool because you can
Mm-hmm.
ask people stuff, and they could be like, don't even have to say anything, just hold up Yup because they agree, or like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, will you get me some orange juice? Yup.
You want to give me this? Yep. That's
So
YUP.
yeah,
Yeah.
yup,
Yep.
right. And then, the other side does say, do you believe in human rights? Which is also a yup for me, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we went up and checked out their thing, and they
yeah.
were pretty crafty with their petition. I'm not
He
gonna
says,
lie.
will you get Will you
The
get off it?
drive-through.
I don't think the owner of this property would want you on his private property.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that guy? That was me, guy. I doubt you listen to this because you probably don't know how to work a computer or something. But we could get to that, and we can
Yeah.
address the negative uh, education system that's around here that prevents you from getting access
Life
to the
skills.
internet and computers and things like that. And we could help you learn computers
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. If you bring it to the council, because the Human Rights Commission could address those kind of concerns, and seeing as how we already exist and everything,
Mm-hmm.
like just bring those concerns to us. If you were listening, man, I would love to say that to
I
you, even if
don't
you were
even
here.
know if he was. You
No,
never
but
know
he's
who's
like, get off
listening.
the property. Then the owner was standing right there, right, and he's like, I'll get the owner to kick you off the property. And then the owner realized that me and him do a lot of business together,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, he just kind of
Money talks.
scurried away. But honestly, that's another human rights concern that I like. Why, why should you feel like that me being a contractor, electric contractor,
Mm-hmm.
why do you think that I wouldn't want to still do business with you just because you disagree with me on something,
Right.
on anything? You know, you should
Because you're
want
still
to treat.
gonna have to.
I still would be happy to deal with a local electric company,
Mm-hmm.
electric distributor, supply distributor, than somewhere like Lowe's.
Right.
I mean, Lowe's is nice; it's there, but honestly, I go out of my way to deal with local people
Keep it
when
local.
I'm doing my work.
Yeah.
So it's like that's another a whole nother issue. That's why I'm so behind that whole thing that we're doing because it really does matter, and people don't even realize like how blinded that they've been by the system that is
Mm-hmm.
in place here.
It's the system. Right.
It, what did they say? What did they? If you live in areas where there's coal or oil or some kind of fossil fuels, then pretty much you're also the same place that the military draws their people from. Because in those areas, it's either go to the coal mines, join the military to get away from having to go to the coal mines,
Yeah.
or go to jail
Be on
until you
time.
do one of those things. Like basically that's how it is in this state.
Mhm.
Um, and then the whole
Unless
education
you move
system,
out
the,
of state.
the whole education system around here teaches you how to be a worker for
Mhm.
somebody. It doesn't teach you how to be an innovator for anything.
Mhm.
So how can we say we have a good education system when the only thing you're trying to teach people is how to go work for somebody else? When
How
we
to
should be
obey
we should be teaching. I mean, from
and conform.
something that you can teach a third grader is this is how you get a business license. Okay, seriously, it is not complicated. Like third graders probably can understand it, probably, you know. And then through the third for like fourth, fifth, sixth, you can teach them financials. Like if you want money to be something, which
Mhm.
it kind of isn't, but that's a whole nother topic.
Mhm.
You know, could could we then like focus the schooling on how to be successful within the parameters of the system that exists? And that's what they don't want to. They don't even know how to approach it because they're so afraid of a lot of their own self. You know, just thinking about all the responsibilities of being a teacher with all these kids that are not yours typically. So
Mhm.
like those responsibilities and the unawareness because typically, I mean, a lot of times teachers aren't parents too.
Mhm.
So they don't understand a lot of things that parents deal with constantly, like, oh shit, my kid ate a penny.
I got a piece of plastic in
What
there. Ian had
what
a
do
piece
you
of
do?
plastic
All
in
right,
here.
what do you do when your kid eats a penny? I'll tell you, the
Shit it
doctor,
out.
the doctor will tell you, you got to check and make sure that it passes
Passes.
within a certain amount of
Yeah.
time. So you got to sit there and scoop it out.
I think the most thing I say to my kids anytime they tell me
But
they don't feel good is, "Did you poop today?" And they're like, "What?" Like I ask them every day, "Did you poop today?"
it's just so like a parent, a
Yeah,
not a
I
parent,
need to know.
a not a parent wouldn't realize how many times that you had to wipe that kid's ass, and there was like poop in places that you don't even discuss typically because it's just not a topic of
Oh man,
conversation. It's
babies
just
are
like,
gross.
whoa, my
Kids are
god,
gross.
what?
Yeah.
But they don't know. They don't know that,
No. And they
and
always
and
think they're so right and
I think
justice because
that
they think you're
yeah,
so mean and
they call that the joys of parenting. I think that's
mm,
what like that falls into the things that we don't talk about. It's the joys of parenting, right?
that's our problem is we don't
But
talk about
but
anything
exactly. So there's all these people who aren't parents who are unaware
and think they
of
know through formal
of
education.
they're unaware of their own selves. Okay,
Hmm.
and that's the problem. They're how not unique they
You
are
know what
in
else is the
general.
problem too is the way the education system is set up, and it's set up
That's
with
same thing.
yeah, I know, with the way the people are popping out of it and with the non-parents, but it's also set up to take that test. And a lot of people have to do their
But
lesson
right,
plans
who who
around that
who
test
sets
and
up
can't put in any
who
uniqueness.
who creates the test?
The government.
But who? Like who is behind that?
It would be the whoever designs the federal test. I don't know who it is.
Exactly. And who weighs those standards and how do those standards get
I don't know.
they don't publicize
Some
that.
kind of no. They just
They just
publish the
all
studies.
of a sudden they're like we were taking tests in our group and it started becoming normal and then all of a sudden there's way all these more tests. And where
It's
do they come
insane.
from?
I
Like
don't know.
how these companies are marketing these tests to these schools and then the taxpayers are paying for them and then they have no idea where like what that test is all about. All that they know is that some teacher thought
Some,
that that
you know what?
test meant
Mostly
something.
too, right? And most people, most kids don't even take. I got my kids back. They don't even take it. They just mark whatever. They don't even really do the test.
Right, and then they get lumped into a
They said,
category.
yeah, they did get lumped in the category, and I said, I knew right away because it said they were below
Some
average
kids are
everything.
just not good at tests.
I asked them. I
They
said,
don't
did
sit
you
for tests
take
good.
this test? I said, did you take it? They're like, no, it was too long. Like every one of them.
Right, but why does that matter to get a job? You
I
know?
know.
Like,
That's how they design their classes now.
I mean, think about that. They probably do all these things, like try to like single out people who can be in government jobs. You know, like how obedient can you be? Can you sit there and under, understand the importance of
Well,
what we're
that's the
saying?
design of that. Wouldn't that be the Illuminati
I mean, you can
and the
say that.
secret societies to scatter out the high achievers? And then once the high achievers, they get to go on to the good schools, and then
I
they're your
know.
drones.
I know for sure.
It's like
I saw
Divergent,
tests.
isn't
I
it?
saw tests that were being written for college level programs because I was typing them,
Hmm.
and I saw them, and I would be like, "Hey, you know, there's a punctuation error in
Yes,
here,
I
right?"
see that in
And
magazines.
they would be like, "Oh no, leave it there because I want that to distract somebody." So when they're taking the test, they see that punctuation error is there, and
They're
it
going to become
confuses them
obsessive.
because, right. So then they fuck up the answer, or they don't.
That's dirty.
I know.
Is it dirty or is it not?
Can you overlook
Look
that?
at right, like because I think that's kind of it is dirty and manipulative, and it's fucked up on some level.
But people should also be aware that that kind of thing
Yeah,
exists.
because you can select
That's
right,
unfair to not let people know that there's people out there doing stuff like that.
but they
There
do
is.
that with everything. They do that with
Right.
everything.
But so to say that they're like
That's fucked up.
yeah, but it happens because you know they're intelligent and they know how to pull strings and stuff.
Yeah, they did a study. They're creating false memories on mass public, and it was all for a study. They're really, they went up for our human mind to be considered protected by rights, right? Because of false memories. And what they did was change the word shatter and impact. So, it crashed, wrecked, and shattered. So it shows a car scene, but the question was how much glass was shattered all over the ground. And it was just a car. The actual picture was just a car. No glass was broken. But because they said that, most of the people wrote this whole false memory of seeing glass and everything all over the ground and blah, blah, blah. Never was there. And then they changed the words to the next set um, about using the word crash or wrecked, or just like, you know what I mean, like wrecked. And when they used the word crash, everybody had this big scene and everything, and they asked for the body out of the car or not out of the car. And there wasn't a body out of the car, but when people seen the word shattered and crashed, I believe it's a TED Talk.
Huh.
Yeah, so it totally created false memories for everybody.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was like on mass, large, not like hundreds of people.
It's kind of like if there's a plane, right? The plane's flying like U.S. to Canada, and then it crashes right exactly dead on the border of fucking Canada and the United States, right? Where do they bury the survivors? I mean, seriously, where would you?
Where would you bury the survivors in there?
For Canada?
Like, no, you got
listen.
guys on a plane. They're on a plane.
These kids are going to be louder than the
And
broadcast.
it crashes directly on the border of the United States and Canada.
You would bury them
Where,
on the border.
where would
I've heard this riddle before.
you would bury the
Listen
survivors
to
on
the
the border
words.
of the border
Survivors on the border? Do you bury survivors?
You don't bury them at all.
of the
Why? Why don't you bury
That was
them?
the whole trick.
Because you know why? You don't.
Yeah,
Do you
because
know what
they're
a survivor
living.
is?
They're alive. They survived. Why would you bury them?
I don't think she knew what survivor was.
I did, Mama. I heard that riddle before.
All right.
But you fell for it again.
Potato Nation!
Potato Nation!
So you want to give us some thoughts about your march today?
Well, the march today.
Come closer to the mic.
Well, the march today.
Crap.
My
Continue
goodness.
on.
Well, the march today, it was pretty fun. What piece of paper we're gonna do? The march today was fun. I had fun. I don't know about anyone there though. I really wasn't paying attention. I was just doing my little potato stuff. I honestly didn't care.